All right, boys, we're back at it again today with the 500. The goal for today is to get this guy as a roller. I want to get it off this block and where I can lock it into the lift and work on it. So what do we have to do to get this to be a roller? Well, I kept monkeying around with the neck bearings, and I remembered that I have a set of neck bearings for a CB350. CB350, 500, 550, all the same neck bearings. I have a set of tapered bearings. Just like hell, I'll just put those in. Those are on ice right now. I'm going to heat this bad boy up and slap them in. I've actually been out to the shop for a couple hours already. I kind of got sidetracked, as I always do. And what did I get sidetracked with? Well, my daily's a 1972 CB500 Ford. And I drive it to work every day, and I take a backpack, and I'm getting sick of taking a backpack. So I got that rack there from an old farmer, had it sitting on his lot. When I went there, it's kind of like Hills Have Eyes-esque, like mile-long driveway, tons of junk everywhere. And I asked the guy when I got that, I was like, do you have any more motorcycle parts? And he's like, no, I don't have any more. So, like, do you have any motorcycles? He's like, I do have one, but it's in a fallen down building. So I was like, well, let's go look at it. So I went and looked at it, and like the building was like this, right? The bike was like right here. So the building hadn't fallen on it yet. And the tires were buried up to almost the rims, and he said it had been sitting there for 15 years. Well, 1982 CB500F Super Sport. It's all there. The tank is shiny inside. It's insane how shiny it is. I'll get a picture of that. This thing had about, it had probably like 3 mils of dust on top of it. The motor's locked. I got it unlocked last night. Clutch plates are not working. Starter's locked. I know these things have issues with the starter gear, and I believe it's called the cam gear where they attach. There's some rubber bushings that go bad. So I'll pull that apart eventually, but this is going to be a winter project. I just wanted to get it cleaned up. I mean, this thing was filthy. I think I left one pipe still dirty. Original pipes, everything. So everything looked like that. The whole bike had just a layer of filth on the whole thing. So, we'll see. This will be like a winter project. Like I said, I have way too much other stuff I'm working on. So yeah, so back to this. Let's get some roller bearings in, and then we can start putting together the forks. All right, boys. Fun time. Bearing time. Always found a little bit of heat. Makes this a lot easier. Bearings are packed in ice right now. Probably heat this up for like 5 minutes. And I was wrong what I said before. You're putting race in, not the bearing. This is going to be for tapered bearings. I suggest any old bike, put tapered bearings in. It's a huge difference. You're like 25 bucks off Amazon. Get one. They are fantastic. We should have this ready. Alright, boys. Tiny bit of grease. Thinking heat. Let's heat that guy up. tiny bit of grease on to get a little bit out. All right, boys, let's see what we got here. Open it, it's gonna slide right in. Not happening. Feels pretty good. All right, boys. That looks great. Now for the worst part. Taking the race off the steering stem. This sucks. So I'll show you guys how I do it. Slow with a punch. All right, get a good punch, and you've got a dust shield in the way, right? So that's gonna get destroyed regardless. So just keep tapping around in a circle. There we go. That was way too easy. It's usually way harder than that. All right, guys. So we are now at the point where we're going to put the bearing on. So if you're using a common motor kit, like I'm using, it comes with 3 spacers. I'm not really sure what the really small one is for. But it says in the instructions you use the thinner diameter spacer. So there's a thin one and there's a really thick one. So that's on the bottom here, and then on top of that is the dust cover. So now we have to put the actual bearing on. Bearing is covered in grease. I got some crap on there from the table. So it's all packed. Make sure you pack these before you put them in. So I usually just put a bunch in my hand and I just try to scoop it up in. All right, so this bearing is always going to point up like this. You have to pound this on. You know what? I am actually going to heat this up before I put it on. So and make sure you're just pounding on the inner race. It was actually stuck to the tank of the steering stem. That is not good. All right, we're back. I was able to get the pipe off, and I don't think it's fully seated. So I grabbed the race that I pulled out of the steering stem. That should give me just enough clearance, and I'm just going to give her a couple more love taps until it's fully seated. That sounded pretty good. I was using the tube off my floor jack. It perfectly fit. It gets a little bit bigger right here, so I had to use this inner race. I never throw away. Trying to put this sucker in. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Let's throw some more grease on the bearings. Nothing wrong with packing a little more in there. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Remember, down. Yeah, let's put some more grease on this one too. Yeah, we can do it one-handed, right? All right. Whoa, yeah. Alright guys, dust seal's going on. Bring that up a little bit. The cap. You just want this snug. Fortunately, I have a CB500 original parts kit, which comes with the original spanner wrench. Yeah, I can feel a little bit of drag. I don't know if you've ever used these spanner wrenches, they don't really work with the crap. A little bit more. Yep, that feels great. And they're going to seat a little more as you drive it, so you might have to tighten this back up. Tops. Don't forget your washer. Top cap. Well, as tight as I want to get it, because I still have to put the forks on. That feels pretty good. All right, well that took way too long to rebuild the forks. Holy cow. All right, so forks are rebuilt, new seals, that's about it. They've been painted. Yeah, rebuilding the forks was not fun. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. There, close. I would like the cap ring to be flush. So, a little pressure on it. I'm just going to snug these up. I have no idea where my tools are at. There. I did a house call today for a kid whose bike got stolen. He found it. All the wiring was cut. Kind of an interesting story. He was really worried that the bike was really messed up. And I looked at it, and they cut every single wire coming from the key switch and hooked them all together. If you know anything about wiring, you can't do that. You can blow every single fuse. So, I told him this bike never ran. He goes, well, how can you tell that? And I popped open the fuses, and both fuses were blowing. And I told him that's because the instant they hooked those wires up together, they blew a fuse. He's like, well, it was leaking oil everywhere. And I said, of course, it's a two-stroke. He probably sat there and kicked it forever trying to get it to go. And it wouldn't go. Two strokes on an oil pump, which brings oil into the carburetor, which is atomized into the motor. So it's not going on the motor, it's just sitting there. So and that's why there was oil coming out of the overflow. So long story short, we got it all rewired. Lights came on like they were supposed to. And he kicked her over like 10 times. He's getting a little upset because it wasn't starting. And then I looked over and I saw the kill switch was on. So I had him kill switch off. Second kick, fired right up. Little 125 Enduro. KE 125. Yeah, he was pretty stoked. But didn't charge him anything. I mean, I don't know. You ride, you're cool with me. Need help, I'll give you a hand. A lot of my friends bring their bikes over here to get worked on. It's just, I don't know. It's fun to me. This is my zen spot. This is where I come to escape reality. If you're ever trying to polish up a little bit of pitting on this old Asian chrome, a little bit of quad hot steel wool, and any kind of oil you have laying around, right, it works wonders. So I've got two people fighting over this bike right now who want it. So I promised it to one person, and then a guy who I chase a lot of bikes with, we always end up going together to find stuff. He kind of wants it, so now I'm in a kind of a predicament. Do I give it to my buddy, or do I give it to the first guy I promised it to? Where did I put the fork? Somebody put a lot of time into this bike. Just to give up on it is pretty sad, but I get it. But we did. Wow, that one went really easy. Alright. So, we'll keep picking away at it. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the wheel on. It took me the better part of 3 hours to rebuild these forks. I don't know, I don't know. I got my own way. Let's just say that. These lower fork bolts are supposed to be at 18 pounds, but I'll get them torqued to the right specs after I get a wheel on it. Really, the goal was just to get a wheel on it tonight, guys, and I don't know if I have enough energy to do that. Tires on. That's how I do it, boys. Bearings are good. The rotor looks nice too. Alright, we got a roller. Cleanup time. So I can put this bike on here how it's supposed to be. what I wanted this whole time. It's so much easier to work on when I can work on it when it stands up on its own. All right, rock on. Good night. You have a little fun with it? See what it should look like? I am still missing a few parts. I never did. Out of all the boxes I got, I never found a main wiring harness. But I do have a parts bag. Complete parts bag I got. So I ain't too worried. I should have everything on there that I need to finish this project. We got a roller. What do you guys think? Should look all right. All right, boys, I'm going to bed. Well, boys, I couldn't help myself. I had to put the front end back together. Doesn't look too bad. It's gonna be a cool bike when we're done. So I think I'm gonna try to put the airbox back together, see what the fenders look like, get the fenders on it, and then I really want to see what we're missing for wiring. I still have not found the main wiring harness. And so this is where we're at. Good time to stop. It's almost midnight.